it is quite obvious that the Alobas are not being sincere, not totally sincere about justice for their son. Well, Mohbad's younger brother, Adura, should have been the one on the forefront of justice for his brother. Unfortunately, he felt he could be bigger than his brother. He felt he could enjoy the same that his brother enjoyed. The only problem is that there is no grace upon him. Oil did not drop from Mohbad's head onto his own. It's quite unfortunate. There are certain things that have been unraveled some couple of hours ago, and it is mind-blowing. It is so sad. The insincerity of the Alobas, a lot of people did not see through it. Some saw, but they felt it would be counterproductive. Particularly looking back at the persecution that Mohbad's father experienced, where people did not understand what he was saying. But later, people started having one-on-one together, and they realized at the end of the day that the energy put into getting what they could get from Mohbad's revenue was much more than the actual justice. In fact, to them, justice for Mohbad is more or less rechanneling of money into their pockets. To them, promise Aloba is simply a meal ticket, something to help them get fat. But somewhere, somehow, were they seeking for justice? Well, your mind is about to be blown away because, like I said, in some couple of hours, some drop that came in is explosive. It is beyond human imagination. Justice for Mohbad is all that we've been talking about. It is all that we've been pressing for. In fact, many people have sacrificed so much for justice for Mohbad, much more than they have given to their family or to themselves. People became selfless, invested. They became so interested. They sold themselves to justice for Mohbad. Particularly those in diaspora. They've been the one sparking. They've been the one connecting. They've been the one bringing life to it. They've kept it alive. But not just that alone. Not just that alone. We have people on ground who have sacrificed and put their time physically to get justice for this young man. Please like and share. Be prepared. This is going to be explosive.
Family, they parai. The unity to get justice for Mohbad. A reasonable government, reasonable public should ignore that kind of a family and pass through you and get justice for Mohbad. By now, Baba Mohbad should be ashamed of himself. If your son, Adura, knew what happened to Mohbad, Lagome Tati so the one so power can corny boo moyi, to mon to shell say a boy Lagometa, Amo Yawabe, Tabane Corribu, a beneful boy, Lebu. He dotile she, about the way. To buy a bit of Lucy Shakiri, Ru, Kanema to get a live our full audience. Utawati saw the way. Shame, Ero Cobola Biesha. Ara Taibo ló wá sọ̀tọ̀ tó dúró ti Mohbad ọmọ tẹ́yìn bí ẹ wá sọ fáwọn pé ẹ kò wá tọ́ yín pé ó fẹ́ kí nǹkan ṣe àdúrà gbogbo ẹbí yín àbáwọn tó bá tọ́ yín pé ó fẹ́ kí àbẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń rò pé nǹkan ò ní ṣe ẹ̀yin tọra yín ní nǹkan ti ṣe kò tí ì fara hàn ni when it is time you know pé lábẹ́ bó tilẹ̀ òkórí for him to have done that to his blood brother nǹkan ti ṣe ilẹ̀ alíbí ò lè kò lè pọ́n yín lé mọ́. Because it's absurd. He is scared, a Roomba. but àwọn tó bẹ̀rù yẹn náà ló fẹ́ hùn kókó sọ òun di star ara wọn ló fẹ́ gbà gòkè good star. You are deceiving yourselves. And those people fooling you, tonton, mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà lè ń bú sórí ara yín. We speaking the truth to you. Lè forí kọ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé yín ní orí àtẹ̀bùn fi orí kẹfì rí ọmọ yín létí kẹ sọ fún mi kẹ bèrè fún ìmísí kẹ kọrin sọ fún pé odidi ọdún almost ọdún méjì bàbá ẹ̀ ò bá fojú rí ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ ẹ̀mọ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe. ó ń lọ káàkiri ó fẹ́ kọrin ṣe òwe káàkiri ẹ̀yin náà wá ń pòwe tẹnitẹni àbí ọmọ ẹni òṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí kílẹ̀ tí ẹ sọ pòwe o. àwọn èèyàn náà lè so àwọn tó threatening wọn rí driver yẹn threatening bọ́ ọmọ tí yín tó jábúrò Mohbad tó ń jẹ lábẹ́ tó mu òun lọ ń threatening tó fẹ́ pa. I'm ashamed of both of you as a parent. Báwo ni stranger ò ṣe ní take over ọmọ yín? Ẹ̀yin lọ sórí rédíò fẹjọ́ yẹn sùn ni. I took the fight to him direct. You saw the ẹ̀jẹ̀, but your son Adura knew how the ẹ̀jẹ̀ came out. Kọrin sọ fún sọ́tọ́ jáde ẹ̀wọ̀n ìpètẹ́lẹ̀ ní lẹ́nu yẹn ibi tẹ́tí ń ṣe mistake gan nìyẹn. Ọmọ yín wúwo ìpè ẹ̀yin ṣépè fáwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ lórí social media tẹ́yìn náà dẹ̀ ń gba gíwédú ṣé wọ́n fún yín gíwédú ẹ̀yin náà dẹ̀ fi ń jẹun ẹ fi ń dá irun orí yín ṣé kò ṣe wú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ń tọ́ra yín rìn and the people deceiving you ẹ jọ ń tọ́ra yín. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ kójọ ìbúkì jẹsẹ yẹn ẹnu yẹn dàbí ìdí ọ̀bọ ẹ wo gùrẹ́sì ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn tó wà lára ọ̀dì and including those people that are praise singers ass lickers wọ́n ní kọ́dà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ṣe ìkọ́ṣe bí di gan lébè yẹn náà ń tọ́ yín kiri and then you see all these double agents ṣèké ṣáájò. When I want justice. You're speaking from the two sides of your mouth. You want to continue to from even quite terrible. Quite terrible. Tó bá jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ ló ti pa yín tì for the ọdún méjì 2 years that Adura did not come to meet you. Fojú kan bóyá gbà tó ṣe gbé tó fẹ́ transfer láti zone 2 lọ sí pàǹtí lẹ́sẹ̀ bóyá ẹ̀rẹ́ ríra yín ní kọ̀rọ̀ or whatever the case may be ẹjọ́ mọ reason tí ó ṣe avoid him and that time is coming. It's the day of reckoning is coming. Àwọn tó ṣògùn fún yín wọ́n kàn sótọ́ fún yín. Ìgbà tí Joseph táwọn ọmọ yẹ ọmọ abẹ́ ti ta sóko ẹrú that was the day they ceased to be his brother. Ẹ̀yin rí kọ́ rántí wọn rárá ni. Ìgbà tó dé Egypt ó padà tún ní problem. God only showed him the end of the vision. End of the vision làwọn yẹn bínú sí wọn ò mọ̀ pé gbogbo ìbínú táwọn fẹ́ bí sí end of the vision it is to turn them to materials for that end of the vision. So all of my bomba me kò ní fi role tẹ́ máa play hàn yín. Role ẹ̀yin ló bá fi hàn yín ló máa bí yín. Because if God has shown them, at some point, ẹ máa ta ọmọ ọ̀yá yín, ẹ máa ta sóko ẹrú, ẹ máa ṣe kíní kan. Ìmí lè ṣe gbéraga pé kí ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tàbí wàrà ìbò rọ́bìṣì yẹn. Ẹ ní jẹ́ kí má jẹ́ mú yẹn kó ṣe. So God will cleverly show you the end of a vision. Ìyẹn lè máa bú so tẹ́ máa kọrin èébú sí, tẹ́ máa ṣe kà sí, so that you will not be able to see the process. And what justice? The evidence. Push for evidence. It's a different ball game if you were attending the coroner inquest with zero evidence. But throughout the inquest, you were pushing for serious and key substantial evidence. The only evidence that you were waiting for was the government toxicology. And when that failed, you did your own. That's the only thing. You ignore the rest of other evidence. When they move the idea of public lawyer to move in a different direction, I was double agents, I was not paranoid. They prefer to speak about it every day, and they ask them, why can't you move? You are not even doing anything. So I ṣe pé bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ pé NGO tí ẹni tó bá pẹ́ NGO bí ní the public lawyer èèyàn kan máa jókòó máa rojọ́ wèrè lórí social media. To know to know the only way your family can move and move mountain is when the public support him with. I just can stop a block if you owó yẹn ever see fẹnu bàjẹ́. Ìyàwó àròpọ̀ ohun ti stop kọ̀ọ̀kan. At the end of the day, kí ló rí stop. Ẹ má dàá fún yọ̀bẹ̀ o, ẹ má dàá fún yọ̀bẹ̀ o, ó ṣe géèmù àròwó. Ẹ má dàá fún yọ̀bẹ̀ o, àṣebẹ́dẹ̀ àròwó. Ẹ má dàá fún yọ̀bẹ̀ o, pàpàdánù ọmọ. At the end of the day, kí ló rí stop. But call on fún yín ní message pé who do you think you are? At the end of the day, all these forms we are talking about are direct. Kò tiẹ̀ ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú justice for Mohbad. These are things that has to do with my name. Èmi mo lórúkọ. That is God messaging you and telling you in clear terms. Ojí láàárọ̀ péré níyà péré lábíàmọ́. Òun deceive àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ wá justice. Did it stop? Did the grace stops? And you will still claim that because at the end of the day, you cannot decide. What is so because can you really walk and move in that system? Mobilize. I didn't bribe anybody. I never bribed any police officer. But where I need to mobilize, I will mobilize where necessary. But it's still the same family they are claiming. But she press conference, they'll complain about it. And they cajole all of you to say you stop it. Don't ask me for progress. If you are part of those that have been brainwashed to stop supporting, see, most party, what gimmicks with them, what is our double agents, they will claim that they are part of justice movement, and the next thing and they will be attacking the real person to our front line. Should make any sense in it. Actually, our soldiers are doing. And it's all also doing must have any support to the should make any sense. And you are listening to such people. I never send you Jesse or Loju Ogun. What if I party Ogun? Ever send you Jesse or should make any sense? Ever from lamination more Ogun yet if I thought should make any sense. And you call yourself intellect. You are brilliant. You are university. And you are listening to such people. Emma for one material support, who told you? As the war ended, so it's quite absurd. It's quite absurd. And Joko, and why justice? Mohbad a strong petition I'm already. My second onslaught, you see. I want to tell you, did we go? Ìyàwó, ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá testify. Àbúrò gbọ́dọ̀ wá testify. Àwọn olójáde lóru kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Why was Mohbad bleeding? 3 a.m. Because that means he was not bleeding from Ikorodu. Because bleeding profusely did not appear in the testimony of a driver. Títí tó fi bọ́lẹ̀ ní mọ́tò ẹ̀ nílé wọn. And then you reach at that point, you now call for phone forensic. You can't call for phone forensic on social media. Don't call for phone forensic on TV station. You call for phone forensic by writing to the right authority, whether the police or the court, and another will be given. Don't call for phone forensic on social media to gather support and say, my emo when it is only going to be oral, no action. If you truly are if truly you are the father and you want to know what by your son, don't call for phone forensic on TV station. Call for phone forensic in a court. Call for phone forensic with the police. Write a petition and ask, talk about down, sue the police to court. Now, why don't you want to do phone forensic so that I can know what by my son? Because I believe if you give an order, they should download the iCloud of my son. Ikorodu youth, stand up. Go and protest in front of that court. Tell the judge, write to the judge. Don't round up the inquest without inviting the 3 people. Because the driver will look at it. 3 people rushed out 3 a.m. They said Mohbad was bleeding. That was at the point the police got them bleeding profusely. Kilo Fatovin bleed, Lagometa. That means fighting with Prime Boy was not bleeding, could lead to bleeding. Then what led to the bleeding? When they left, 3 a.m., who did they come back with? And what did they do to Mohbad eventually? And at what point did any external nurse came in? If I round up inquest here, I want to have a judgment. I will personally call out the judge here. They have deceive public and deceive. If you want to accept the deceit, accept it, and then all of you should just go away. So ludi dakuda. E ma bimo sinu e elobi atun ma bimo meje ba refa. E tun ma lo social media tun ma so ko ta ma se fun wa. E n ba lu je pelu won te n bi kakiri. E le bi meji ke card ke pade mo. Afi faki o ma po nle, o ma constitute nuisance on social media. Demography is part of a problem affecting us. Because at the end of the day, the DPP said, we can't wait for the corona. No follow-up to fact and get the fact out of what they say. They will just come and service the inquest. End. Just come and talk pen. Oh yeah, go. Pen, talk, go. And you are expecting verdict. If you come and tell us this is, it's important to say, by virtue of this, we request that this should be investigated more. So that they'll bring the fact out. That time come more evidence go about and say, okay, I've had you. They brought him, Abby. You have his. Okay, this is my verdict. So if you have an inclination that they want to round up the inquest, this is important. Write to the court, write everywhere. No, for whatever it is, the DPP they didn't even wait for the inquest. They said they're not waiting. You left. You couldn't wait for the coroner inquest. Oh God, have you taken anyone? To still wait on the coroner inquest. Maximize it.
Apple. Okay.
Good job.
Look.
Power tap, guys. It's 1,000. Justice. And then you're not pushing, pressing that the police should drill in clear terms those within the house, particularly the first family of Mohbad. You are not ready. You are not sincere. And whoever is going to lead the onslaught must be willing and ready to. I am ready. The moment they start telling you, they don't understand what the law says. Because the moment those that you are claiming, or show, and it took bitter as a go be only you or is even accessory after the fact. So what are you going to say when the evidence pops up? Look at the excuses they were all giving for throwing stuff into the tomb at the point of burial. As Africans, everybody, I'm going to support. Ìjọ tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ọmọ àkọ́bí ọmọ ọkùnrin tó ń sin tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ju oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ pé ṣé mo lẹ́nu àti sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ṣá. Ìjọ tó máa ń sin Mohbad ẹni tó ń sọ ọ̀kan sójú orí Mohbad ó máa dúró ti gbágbágbá mà ní. Ọmọ mi mà ló kú iye ọkọ̀ tí ìyàwó ẹ̀ sọ sójú orí ẹ̀. Ayé wa ń béèrè pé ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ má jẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. The excuse you are giving now is the excuse they will give when it gets to your son's time. The woman was saying, "Oh, you Bible siben, Bible lo so bi le so le wa hide." To ba the Bible lo fe siben. Stop deceiving yourself. Pastor lẹni tó officiate Bible yẹn ló máa mú dání. You will do it with honor. Okula nsin. Ó deserve dignity. Ẹ má tọra yín. Somebody close to me contacted me, accused me pé mo insult here. Kí má bú ọmọ ẹ̀ mọ́. This is the test of my character. Find me many really. Mo ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ rí lẹ́ẹ̀kan. They realize pé okay, family won't be gone. I give a person audience. Told me, I've said it repeatedly, I have nothing against her. And I mean it from the depth of my heart. And I said, I am 100% committed to justice for Mohbad. But when my boy the depth we hold every child is protection. Activists interest human rights, child rights. They are looking for activism that will give them unnecessary quick fame, quick love. Complex issues. Prison. When it's what to convict. Thomas, I don't want to say to my droti, you don't pay the human rights because everybody has got right to fair hearing. Thomas in for human rights. Don't think Jaffany don't deserve fair hearing. Why did easy route to activism here. So when I choose or you find me in a serious complex case of Mohbad till Lolari. Case of Mohbad till Lolari. A lot of people to show up to talk about our one day. And I saw the need for me to help. If I think about my fame, I will not say a word. If I think about insults, if I think about the risk involved, I will not even move an inch. But I look at it and say, do you have something to offer? Can you still help this case? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to risk it? And I look and said, there is no resources. Let's go. Where people are supposed to encourage synergy. And it only the law already over. Everybody could take undue advantage. I'm deliberately doing this so that because it's share the justice in the me and sort of back on. You tell about Kololo, Tally Cat, and you would think consequently more. When you share the justice. No share buying loan, who better go for in shape. My free direct shade. I lucky. I'll be human being. If you take advantage of that, talk power with the talk power woman, join them. That's the problem. Hey, the people here power and told me would stop. Any step they want to analyze, any step they want to. She must change justice in it. What if the step I'm taking is to actually, gaslight or try to play mind game? You want to criticize it. Are you part of us on the front line? Social media at our front line. Everybody want to play same role. You need to cut people some slack and say, because at the end of the day, the real justice for Mohbad, I want to move toilet or living face. Thank you for taking it up to 100,000. I appreciate you guys. I will continue. I am not regretting standing by the masses. Yes, so the same card they said is not working. So how can an inquest, corona inquest, now round up without investigating that part? Because should be fact finding. The only thing the lawyers have done is bring this one, That's so present. The only thing that was presented that is coming from even the family side is the toxicology, which came out inconclusive. And at the end of the day, we saw Mohbad's neck broken at the point of burial. Cotton, you want chemicals to body Mohbad. She chemical and not to straight on her father. The pathologist you repair on Mohbad to bed. Because they said the casket was not too long. That's why when they were doing anointing, not break neck, money anointing, and don't anointing here corn is all fresh anointing by lower corn. Tony Baba serious emoye alone. Semoye shade that shake any part that shake kere. Tama mu orun ara wa sabe bai. Tama fi ja wrestling ton lo kan. Aimoye titi tama tirawa. Ti orun kan. Why do the anointing of Posi? Just say, Father Lord bless you. On record. Eko muro buruku, eko mule, eko town in Nigeria. Yes, even the leg was broken. So the family pathologists did not see the same thing with the neck, with the same leg. And some people will say, am I alone? Because not anybody listen. You guys are not understanding that when it comes to the case of justice and rule of law, on to fi ba so oni luma tele ta lo pa Mohbad on teni en wa ni e o fi o wa kini baba e so baba e ni sympathy. The same family that could drag the government. One Lagos state government ni wo ku wo one of protesting if you don't lo se tibi ta won ti se ti won sin pẹ̀lú public can't talk about it. Then there is no balance. And the lead blogger, she went away. What is buffet? Ah, blue emo. What is gbé wọn débi tó fẹ́ gbé yín dé? Ẹni ẹ̀dẹ̀ ti ba èmi lórúkọ jẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ ọgbà. Ó dẹ̀ rò pé nǹkan tó máa jẹun, ó sì ń jẹ nǹkan lọ́wọ́ ni. Àfi tẹ́ bá padà adjust the tuba. But because people like them, I've told you guys from the beginning, I don't dignify them with my response. She has never been in my purview. Òjòrò tó rọ̀ tí ò dá ló dẹyẹlé àti adìyẹ mi àti irú àwọn yẹn papọ̀. Everything you think is about money. Ṣẹmọ̀kọ̀ tí wọ́n ti build tó ju owó lọ ni. Ṣẹmọ̀kọ̀ tí wọ́n ti build tí wọ́n ti fi orúkọ owó build. Ẹ wá jókòó síbi kan bí ẹ máa compare and contrast. For somebody who is doing well in his career, kó wá feel like, these people need help. That is to tell you how I am raised. Well, film to what call. I mean, more story around me. So if I can be writing stories since 2005, that's about 20 years. Timo Kobo consistently to up until now. That's to tell you it's not a fluke. So when you have a story called bro, you're going to get low. How do you come? Oh, that's low. So, let me tell you advice. Man is going to get justice, and very soon. If the government is willing to risk it, and they want maybe the media, there is a foreign media that are trying to plan, they're working on every other thing to push the video out. If any other person push it out and throw it on social media, but at the end of the day, it will be so clear. Problem. Thank you all for power tapping.
Welcome back. Fire, fire, fire. That is the only way justice for Mohbad can be gotten. There is no two ways about it, because those that we are dealing with do not want justice for that gentleman. They do not want justice for Mohbad. They are less interested in justice for Mohbad. In fact, you heard what Yomi Fabi said about family members, how they have made themselves a stumbling block. They have decided not to get justice sorted out. You know what I mean? They are just terrible people. Terrible people. Terrible people. They do not want justice to be gotten. They do not want justice to be served. To them, it's all about kind of spinning the emotion of true justice seekers. That's basically what it is. They think that they can publicly do this show of strength by, or like deceiving themselves, saying say a little and keep your mouth shut. After all, the young man that passed away is my son, is not yours. So I'm kind of like, a lot of people do not even understand how things work. That someone is your child, that you birthed a child, and you are the father of a child, and certain circumstances sort of surrounding the demise of that person is now left for you. It's not the business of the public. People do not know that they owe each other or owe the public. They don't know. They think their existence is just by themselves, and that's the end of it. It concerns nobody what I do. Yes, to an extent, we all have our privileges. Like, you are privileged to be this, you are privileged to be that. Oh, like freedom of this. But then, people need to understand. Mohbad's father needs to understand that the way things work is quite different. You don't say, oh, because I have the right to exist on this earth, then you then want to say, well, this is my dirt, this is my being, this is my dustbin. It's nobody's business. I can leave it there with, organic material and leave it there for the next 2 months. It's nobody's business. Is it not in front of my house? Even though the decay there is so much and it could cause health hazard. It's the same thing that we are talking about, social hazard, emotional hazard. You can't say because someone is your child, then you can do and undo. It's nobody's business. It just does not work that way. These are some of the things that Mohbad's father, I'm kind of thinking, he is not aware of it. He thinks it's a child's play. To him, what can anyone do or tell him? After all, the late Ileroluwa is his own son. Nothing more. Is his own son. The other day, he came out screaming, saying, I want the state government, I want the government to take charge of this and make sure that I get the justice that I deserve. He said a lot of things, and I'm like, what exactly is the justice that this man deserves? Are we going to say that this man does not want justice for his son? It's a painful thing, even if he has other children. When you lose one, particularly that one that you know within you carries a lot of grace, you become so worried. You cry because you just don't know how to manage your emotion or how to place it. I don't know if Mohbad's father had gone through that stage. Probably did, or is yet to go through that stage. But I mean, it is serious. But what Yomi Fabi is saying is that you cannot say, if we allow justice to be served, or if we allow certain access to certain, let's say like CCTV, because it is going to show Adura, it's going to show certain people. Because of that, they kept blocking. He said, no, this is not going to work. We have to be truthful. We have to be straightforward. We have to do what we have to do the way it is supposed to be done. Not running around, manipulating, lying, and being all sort of nonsense, all sort of foolishness. And this is not how it's supposed to be. So I don't know if you concur with what Yomi Fabi is saying. I'm sure he has experienced a lot of opposition. It's not an easy thing to talk and do. He has been talking and he has been taking action. Anything could have happened to him. We kept on and on. Yeah, there are times that he requests for donation, requests for money here and there to enable him do what he wants to do. Yeah, some people raise up some dust about it, saying, oh, this guy, how come every minute you're looking for an opportunity to psych the minds of members of the public or those who are showing empathy, and then you want to take advantage of their goodness. You want to take advantage of their open, like that. It became a serious issue, something that he fought through to this point. Let us be sincere. Apart from the corona inquest, you heard him talk about that. Apart from the so-called fact finding, what else can we point fingers to? In conclusion, what else? What can we point fingers to and say, okay, through this route, we are hopeful and we believe that we'll get justice? Which one? Which of it? At times, it will appear like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't blame people for having such. I don't blame them for having such thought. When you see family members directly and indirectly blocking and still hoping and expecting money to be donated, given to them, obviously, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. It makes you kind of want to think about it, process it sort of. I don't know what you think. It's a serious issue. It's a serious matter. It's a serious issue. If you look more, you will see the lacuna. You begin to see some conscious action on actions that kept us where we are stuck on justice for Mohbad.